it is Sue here, finally doing another live. Finally. So I am just going to wait for a short bit of time for a couple more people in the room. Yes, yes, yes. Um, a rainy day where I am right now, and so it is a little dim. My apologies. However, I cannot change nature. So I'm just trying to see here what or if or how long this is going to take, because this is, I woke up to it, and so it is like pouring. It's like my favorite time of my favorite kind of weather. Like, I actually love it. Storming, I can see like lightning flashes, like it's awesome. So I do not have chat turned on here, so whoever is entering, welcome, welcome, welcome. Namaste, Ashe for joining today. Definitely, I'm gonna say subscribe, thumbs up the video, subscribe and hit the notification so that you're not, you know, falling off when I'm back with another great one. If I'm live, you're able to know. So today we're talking about movement without direction. As you can see, as the title says, I'm talking about this today because of a lot of issues that are going on, personal issues, general issues as well. But of course, I listen to a lot of metaphysical channels. A lot of YouTubers out there are now really awakening to this higher dimensional, consciousness. And this topic, the title, Movement Without Direction, it sounds like it's referring to one thing. But if you really think about it, when I really think about it, it encompasses so many things in one. But especially as it relates to my personal life, I feel like it encompasses so many, a multitude of things. And this is why I wanted to discuss it today. So make yourself at home. This is your home, my spirit fam. Feel comfortable. I definitely, the next live I do, I want chat to be turned on, but I have another device here, but I can't, it's for some reason, I don't know if it's the weather, I can't get it to pick up the Wi-Fi, so yeah. But you can always comment on the replay video of this when it's uploaded. So movement without direction takes a hold. This is something that somebody said, another favorite YouTuber of mine said months ago. And I'm sure they did not coin that phrase, but it means so much to me. Because if you think about it, envision what that represents. You're standing in one spot, you're moving. You're like, like the cartoons where the guys like are just, their legs are just going like they're just going, but it's just that they're not going anywhere because they're not sure which direction they want to go. So all they're doing is just standing there, burning out the ground beneath them and digging a hole. This is exactly what that phrase means. In life, we must know what direction we want to go in. And I talk about a lot about law of attraction, the Kabbalah, like Hermetic principles, all of these things. At the base of it all, there's the first Hermetic principle, which everyone who studies or have ever heard of those subjects knows that all is mind, that the universe is definitely mental. In saying that, if the universe is mental and all is mind, that only can mean that everything that we do, everything that takes place within the universe, takes place as a thought first, starts within the mind, within a mind. Whose mind? Now, reading things, books, materials from, like, say, Thomas Troward and Neville Goddard and all of these great metaphysical teachers, I know that we ourselves, an individual, the me, the I, like who I am, who you are, that everything happens here first, that that you actually are the center of your own universe. To put it like simply, even though that is such a powerful thing to say, to put it simply, you are the center of your universe because you are shaping the universe as you know it from this, from your mind, from your thoughts. And this is why when I think about deity, I think about every time I hear the word thought, I think about Thoth, the deity, Thoth. His role and responsibility or duty or association was all about this, all about your thinking, all about the way of thinking, all about the way you actually piece things together mentally and then makes it become material, makes it harden into physical form. So Thoth was responsible for magic. He was responsible for sciences, for the arts, for all of these things that start within our mind. And so knowing this, all of that, let me just go back a little bit. All of that means to me, if this is everything, if you are the center of your own universe, you must have knowledge of self. You must know who you are in order to be able to know what your thoughts are, how to control them, how to direct them so that you have a direction you're moving towards. You must actually know who you are, what your desires are, where you would like to go, what you would like to see achieved. All of these things are necessary, and only will they happen by knowing yourself, understanding yourself, taking time enough to get to know who you are. Everybody says they're finding themselves, they're trying to find themselves. Yourself is not lost. Yourself is always here, waiting to be like, waiting to emerge. You just have to go within because yourself is not what other people think about you. It's not the world's opinion of you. It is not what is being suggested by others. It's not what you see on TV. It's not yourself. Is that thing that's within you, that soul, that spirit, that indomitable spirit, that will that's inside of you, that passion, that fire, that drive. That is yourself. And the self, when I speak to some persons, they totally disagree. That is the God within you. That is the only thing that really truly has that power to connect with the one mind, with the universal mind. This is all you have, really and truly. So the argument, I don't remember the name, was it Shivo, I believe, who many years ago was on life support because they were in a coma. She was in a coma for a long time. And there was this argument, they were trying to pass laws about whether they should pull the plug on persons in that situation or not, whether or not they are alive or dead. If the mind is unconscious, is the person alive or dead? Now, we know, just technically speaking, we know they are alive because their heart is still beating, yes, blood is still flowing, yes, all of that. But they are not consciously aware of it. They're not consciously able to make decision, a choice for themselves. It's like they are in a different dimension, they are in a different realm. Because if your mind is asleep or your mind is elsewhere, then where are you? What direction can you send yourself in if your mind is not awake? This can be in the physical, this can be metaphysical, you can look at this in many different ways. But back to what I was saying, at the end of the day, movement without direction digs a hole. So even for a person lying dormant in a coma, their heart may be moving, their other functions may be moving, but do they have direction? Do they know where they're going? Do they know where they even are? So in terms of a conscious person, for a person who are woke, it is imperative that you know where you are and where you are going, where you want to go. So much like what I said earlier in this, right? That if all is mind, if all is mind, we're connected to the one mind, then that means that there are varying degrees to which you will actually see you prefer to go. Because let's just say, for instance, you say, I'm going to turn right. Your house is there. You're on a path here or here. You can either turn right, you can either turn left, right? In between there are many other avenues that you can take to get home. You have to know which of those avenues is more comfortable for you, which of those avenues, I guess, you think is more familiar to you, which of those avenues will get you there quicker, which of those avenues, like, it's a lot of different varying situations in the middle of those things. And this is going back to, I guess, the law of polarity, because even though two things may seem so completely opposite, they are actually one and the same. Even though you may look at things like, I can't do that, or I'm not going to ever do that, you will be surprised how circumstances change. And it looks, this thing that once looked so grim to you no longer looks that way, because you've changed your perception of it. You've changed your attitude towards it. You've changed your actual thought about it. So when I say direction, you have to understand, when you're trying to take a certain path, what is the purpose of you choosing to go in that direction. You have to understand, um, whether you're doing it, whether you're trying to go in that direction for the right reasons. What are the reasons? So when I say knowing yourself, knowledge of self, all of these things are very, very important. You have to understand the direction you're going in. Is it because you want to go in that direction, or is it because somebody is coercing you to go in that? Some people, as bad as they want something, as bad as they may want and desire a thing, they may not particularly choose to go in a certain direction toward it, based on their upbringing, based on their feelings, because of what other persons may have said about it in the past, or an experience they may have had in the past, or a lot of varying factors that cause them to be confused. So when you look even at the Bible, talking about being double-minded, right? It's like, basically, that all that is, to me, meaning is to be sure of yourself, to be confident. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt the path that you're being called towards. Don't doubt the calling or the call. You have to know a particular direction. There is a meaning and a purpose for everything that your heart calls you to. There's a meaning for your advancement, for your development, for your growth, for your, destiny, in other words. I was listening to a song the other day. There's a reggae artist, a real popular reggae artist, Buju Banton. I'm sure you know Buju. Buju's song, he wants to rule his destiny, right? And as I was listening to this, I've heard this song like maybe hundreds of, or if not thousands of times, since I was a child or a young adult. I don't think it was out from I was a child. That one line was so powerful to me, because at the end of the day, our destinies our destinies not in another person's hands. Our destiny is within our own hands, within our grasp, grip. I was trying to say grip, within our grasp. But we just have to be fearless enough, courageous enough to press toward that. And some people believe that your destiny is, predetermined before you are even born. Some people believe that it's something that you're molding and forming and shaping each and every day. You know within yourself what you take a liking to. You know within yourself what desires of the heart matter to you most. You know within yourself what actions you need to take that will get you closer and closer and closer to that destiny or to those dreams. Because one dream today is another dream tomorrow. Like that doesn't mean your life ends because you've already accomplished a dream. It's a continuous process. We are infinite beings living in this finite body. We are evergreen. We actually are continuously transforming, just like the earth itself is spinning, you know? It's actually new life, cycles. It's just going around and around and around to bring you each and every day, each and every time something is destroyed, it is rebuilt, it is replenished. This is the same thing with us. We have to understand the power that we actually is infinite power. If we tap into this one mind, to the all mind, to the infinite source of all intelligence, this is within us. This is within our grasp. And so it's important for us to understand how to kind of go with the flow, how to actually move with the rhythm of life. That's another one of the universal principles, the rhythm, the principle of rhythm. We have to flow with it. It ebbs and it flows. We have to actually flow with the energy of life. We have to actually understand. This is why people sometimes find it so confusing when you're talking about detachment, right? From a certain result, from a certain outcome, right? With the law of attraction. Some are like, how can you actually detach if you're actually manifesting and you're trying to attract something? You're actually focusing on that thing because we know where energy, where your attention goes, energy flows. Yes, we know that. Okay, that's law of attraction 101. However, when we say detach, people get confused who are not so knowledgeable about this whole thing. They get confused and say, well, if you're actually trying to manifest and you're focusing and you're meditating on something or whatever and envisioning it, like visualizing and everything, how can you be detached at the same time? For the person who actually has tried and successfully done this in terms of like LOA, law of attraction, you understand that it's like a tightrope walk. It's a thin balance, a thin line of knowing when to pull back, knowing when to press forward, knowing when to pull back, knowing when to actually just go with it. Just like you cannot swim against the tide. If the tide is coming in, you swimming against it is going to cause you to drown. And this is something I had to tell myself over and over again, with all of the challenges and difficulties that I've had in the past, I guess, year or 2 years, I'd say. I had to remind myself of this. Do not swim against the tide. Be like water. Go with the flow. Now you notice when there's anything in the water, when there's rocks in the water, when there are like, if there's a big boulder in the water, there's going to be crashing, there's going to be a lot of disturbance, turbulence in that water, right? So you need to remove those blockages. Those are of the waters of the mind to me. You have to remove those blockages from that water, from that river. Let that river flow, 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 flow. That's the word, flow and go. So, in order for things to flow, though, the river has a direction. The river knows where it's going. The river will serve its total best purpose. As long as it has direction, it knows the path that it's flowing down, it's never ending flow. It's not going to flow if the river has confusing like turns and like somebody's blocking it, just like when they put a, what is the word they, oh my gosh, that they have in Louisiana and stuff, the levees. You put a levee, you try to stop the flow, it's going to crash through anyways, and it's going to cause catastrophe. So do not block the flow of your river. The rivers of the waters of your mind, do not block those. But you have to know what direction that river is flowing towards or through. And this is something, like I said, since I reminded myself of this, I'm going to talk to you guys, my spirit fam, about it because it's so utterly important. And then, if we are talking about flow, if we're talking about the universe, if we're talking about our mind being able to actually control the conditions of the universe, this is so powerful that people don't understand. A lot of people who may be, who may have a affinity for like religion or whatever, they may call this blasphemy right now. I'm sure they will, but I don't care, to tell you the truth, because as long as you understand these things, there's no such thing as blasphemy. This is not blasphemy. If anything, this is actually honor. This is actually showing reverence. This is actually that you're tapping in, truly understanding the spiritual as well as the physical. The spiritual controls the physical. Nothing that happens in the physical happens without it first happening on the spiritual realm. This is why the channel is called As Above, So Below, because this represents all of the such things that I'm just talking about right now. If you actually understand the connectivity of your mind, of our mind to the one mind, we know that we can have, we can be, we can do, we can achieve, we can see anything that we desire. Maybe not in the exact time that you would like to, but it is coming to pass. There is nothing impossible as long as you believe. There's nothing impossible. One time ago, I mentioned on another video, we're talking about the persons who invented the airplane. Now, I'm sure there were other persons beside the Wright brothers. I'm sure there were others. But those were the most pivotal persons. Those were the ones, I guess, who dedicated themselves. And in spite of all of the negative feedback that they were getting and disbelief from others, they truly believed that it was possible. And this is the same way we must be with our dreams, with our desires, with our goals. We must believe that it is impossible to fail. The only way that all of the energy from the universe is going to go towards our flow in that direction is to know what it is that you desire, the direction you would like to go in. If you want something, you cannot be so afraid of what other people think. You cannot be afraid that you are going to look bad, that you are going to be called this, that you are going to be accused of that. Like all of these other things that we worry about so much, they don't matter. They don't matter. All you're doing is putting a big boulder in your river, blocking your flow. Take those boulders out of the river. Allow yourself to flow in the direction that you choose. As long as you're not harming anybody, as long as you're doing something for the highest good of all involved, I don't feel like there's anything to worry about. There is nothing to worry about because everything that you desire is actually just like all is connected through mind. Everything that you desire for your benefit and for your highest good is inevitably going to benefit everybody else it touches. Don't forget that river is going to pass through a lot of other people's towns. It's going to pass down through the city. It's going to pass and it's going to end up in a whole different place. It's not just flowing to you. So your river flowing is so important for mankind, for humanity, for life itself, and actually for the glory of the one who created it all. The one, the one mind, the one that is that we're all connected to. Don't forget we're all connected. We're all connected, whether you like it or not. The fact that we have YouTube and the internet and all this stuff now, even before that, we were still connected. We're just so much more connected now. And this is why I so appreciate the ability to be able to come here today to talk about this. Movement, once again, without direction, digs a hole. Movement with direction, I guess I can say, creates a river. that flows indefinitely, that brings that water of life to all that it touches, all that it passes. Do not allow anybody, man, woman, child, beast, dog, animal, demon, alien, whatever you want to call it, to throw you off of your course, to throw you off of your mission. Sometimes it's good to take a step back, but at the same time, sometimes stepping back, only allows you to see something from a different standpoint. It allows you to see clearer the bigger picture. And this is so important. This is why I talked about detaching. The detachment part of the process is so important, because it's not like you're detaching, like you're ignoring the vision now, like you're forgetting about it, because if you ignore it long enough, it's actually going to just dissipate and go away, right? But it's just taking a step back. Detaching is taking a step back from your feelings toward a certain person, place, or thing. It's taking your anxiety out of the picture when you're trying to manifest a certain person, place, or thing, right? Because we get so emotionally muddy, we have to detach, be able to detach at some points, to allow the energy, to allow whatever that magic is that actually creates, to do its work. Because creation happens, believe it or not, starting from the dark places. Just like soil, it starts from in the ground. Just like in your mother's womb, it's dark. Just like the universe itself is dark. It's dark matter. Yes, there are stars. Yes, there's suns. Yes, there's moons. But the rest of the void of the universe is dark. And so detaching is actually allowing that creation process to take place, that invisible process. We don't see when that happens. Just like when a seed sprouts, we don't see that happening. We just wake up one morning and see a little ah sprout, and it's like magic. This is why you have to be able to do the same thing. You have to be good regardless of the outcome. You have to actually be good regardless. You can say, okay, well, this is what I really want. I really want like this. I really would appreciate this. I'm so thankful that this is coming to me. Yes. But if it doesn't, you have to remember that you're going to be okay. You're going to be just fine. Because why? Something better is out there for you. Believe it or not. This is what I always told my kids too, when they're so anxious about like getting a certain, let's say, thing like a console or getting like a phone or something like that. And I'm like, they're like, oh, well, everybody has this now. Like, I don't have it. Like, everybody has, like, right now, it's like what, iPhone 11, right? That's like about $1,200. And they're like, oh, I want one of those. Like, oh, they get depressed and everything about not just saying an iPhone 11, but like just using that as an example. By the time as they actually see or are able to have an iPhone 11, so much other things will be out that is better than an iPhone 11 that they won't care about it anymore. They won't care. And this happened time and time again to prove my point. That you're going to be fine. Whether it comes or not, you're going to be just fine. Yes, you would like that thing, but there's something about it right now, the time. You have to know that everything happens in its divine timing. Divine timing, divine timing. And I realize persons out there who think that things may not be happening sometimes because there's some big guy up there who is like with a, what do you call those things, like the Little Mermaid, King Triton, saying, you didn't do this last week, so you don't get this. Or you did this last week, so I'm going to give you that. Like tit for tat, butter for fat. Thankfully, the all encompassing mind does not operate like that. Thankfully, the spirit, infinite spirit, doesn't operate from a petty place of mind. It is basic laws, universal laws that are never ending, never changing. that always apply to life. Not what somebody else deems as the truth, not what somebody else says is the truth, not somebody else's judgment of you. You know the direction that you need to go on. You, and only you, can take you down that path. Only you, nobody else. So it's no one else's right or responsibility to judge you. Everybody's path is different. Everybody's life is different. Know the direction you're going on and walk it fearlessly. Walk it with courage, okay, and power and strength and faith. Confidence is what is key. It's faith of the faith of a mustard seed that moves mountains. However, the mountain is not going to just jump up and like float away. A mountain is moved one stone at a time. So every day your faith is what's going to help you start lifting those stones away. You know the direction you're going in, so start taking those small incremental steps toward it. Don't allow doubt to creep up in your mind. When it does, because it will, when it does, distract yourself. Find something to do. Go wash the dishes. Go, I don't know, fold laundry. Do something to take your mind off of the doubt. Your mind actually is a powerful, magical tool. However, your mind also in this society has been trained to stay safe. It loves comfort. It wants you to be comfortable. It wants you to actually, it doesn't, it's fearful of the unknown. So you have to actually train it out of that. You have to train it to think thoughts of success, thoughts of achievement and accomplishment. You have to train it. Just like the gurus, the ascendant masters, right? They weren't just born with this magical mind. There's a book. What is the guy's name? Oh Lord, The Magic of the Mind. I think U.S. Anderson. That book, it's not a very long book, but it's so powerful. It's such a great book. It was written so well. The gurus, like I said, they mastered their mind through training, trial and error. Like they actually went into the mountains, meditated for long periods of time, fasted, prayed, all of these other things, other practices, of course. But you're not born with this mind mastery. You have to actually practice it. Practice is what makes perfect. So when you know the direction that you have to go on, and life, I'm sure right now, everybody's being faced with such great challenges right now, that you are actually being forced to learn how to master your mind. You're actually being forced. For the ones who are not being able to do this, for the ones who may be of a weaker mind, they're falling behind. They're actually succumbing to certain things right now. A lot of persons don't understand that we actually are in a whole different time right now. Things that once were never available to us are now available to us. Understanding and wisdom that was never available to us is now available to us. All of the occult knowledge that was so secret, you can go right on and Google it and download it for free. There's no excuse anymore for ignorance. There's no excuse anymore for narrow-mindedness. There's no excuse anymore. So do not use excuses. Find yourself, find your path, find your direction, and press toward it. Do not allow anybody to be an obstacle to you. I thought I heard somebody. Okay, so yeah, you guys. So I've been talking now for a long time, 35 minutes. I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. But you guys, I want to do a lot more of these lives. I'm about to move soon. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any other videos here where I am, but you're going to see the environment change. You're going to see everything. I'm trying to do a little vlogging of it as well. So you're going to see. But that is one of the things that I'm faced with right now, moving and trying to understand the direction that I'm going in. And this is what I thought was the most appropriate topic for us to talk about today, because it's like, it's exciting. Look at life as an adventure. Look at these things. Find, when you know the direction that you would wish to go in, look at it as an adventure. Do not look at it as a struggle, because it's only how you determine things. It's only you that are giving meaning to whatever it is that you have a notion of. You gave it that meaning. You were the one who are perceiving it in that way. Because to you, you could be having the worst day ever. Somebody else out there can look at you and be jealous and say, wow, look at they're enjoying life. Like, I can't even enjoy my life, blah, blah, blah. And that time you're feeling like a failure. So it's all about the meaning you give to things, to circumstances. And like I told somebody yesterday, I saw on a group, Facebook group, she said that, she's been evicted from her parental home, her parents' house or whatever. She has a young baby. She has nowhere to go. She has no money. She has no car. She has no job. She has no friends, nobody she can stay with, nothing. And she's devastated. She didn't know what to do. I don't know how she's doing today. This was just yesterday. But I had to come on there because I was also faced with somewhat of a very similar situation not too long ago. And I was scared out of my mind. But at the same time, I decided, you know what? Fear is not going to get me anywhere but in a worse situation. I can't afford to be scared at that time. I could not afford it. And I chose that I will banish all negative thoughts. I will banish all doubt, all fearful thoughts, all limiting thoughts. I would banish them from my mind, and I would force myself to think brighter, positive thoughts, to think of a better way that can be made. Miracles, like seeing miracles, serendipity, synchronicities, seeing all these things happen, proved to me and actually encouraged me to continue to press on, feeling positive and optimistic. And I did that, and it led me to such a better place. You guys can check out the other video I just did a few days ago. I'll try to see if I can put the link below, if I remember to put the link down there, as to blessings being disguised as tower moments. That's the name of the video. So if you want, you can check that out as well. But I had to remind her to look at life as an adventure, to look at things now as exciting, okay? Because with knowledge comes power. If you know better, you will do better. So sometimes we have to be that voice, that reminder, that voice of reason to say, hey, wait, I am sorry that it happened to you this way. Yes, I'm so sad. I wish it were not that way. However, you have the power to change it. It's up to you to change it moving forward. So you guys, I'm going to end this right here. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm trying to accomplish today. So wish me luck and many blessings I extend to you all. Thank you for watching. Like I said, if you haven't done this as yet, definitely show your girl some love, support, and contribute to the channel by subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up, and also giving others on YouTube that nudge, like, hey, check out this video. Until I come back with another one, guys, I'm going to say peace and love, blessed be, and namaste. Thank you for watching. I will be back. Don't forget, the message is powerful. Find your direction and press toward it. I'll be back. Bye.